YouTube, what is going on? Theo here, and today we are going to be talking about Persona 5X since the release for Global is just around the corner here, happening on the 26th here in just a couple of days. And this is something I'm super excited for. I've been looking forward to this game for quite a while now. So without further ado, let's talk about it. Persona 5X is finally coming to the West. When this game was first announced just over a year ago, about a year and a half or so, I was super excited for it. I was unfortunately let down to find out that the game was unfortunately only being released, I believe, in China and Taiwan at the time. But finally, without further ado, just over a year later, we are finally getting a global or Western release. So with that, what exactly is Persona 5X? Persona 5X is a gacha set essentially in the Persona 5 universe. It has this type of side story or sequel to Persona 5 where we are going to be following what is essentially a new group of Phantom Thieves. That is not exactly verbatim for both those, but needless to say, we are essentially doing Phantom Thief type work with new characters, a new story, as well as we are going to have the original Phantom Thieves cast involved with it. As we go through, I believe it has been confirmed from the devs that this will follow either the same or a modified, I believe it is a modified version of what was the Eastern release. It might have something slightly too speeded up to catch it up. I don't believe they have said exactly what those details are, but I'm pretty sure they have said something along those lines. So with that said, we can expect, just like how they are currently going through right now, they are doing a collab which is essentially following Persona 3 Reload. So they are getting the Persona 3 characters added into the game along with the gacha system, yada yada yada. I'd imagine too with Persona 4's remake announcement that we just got confirmation of, sometime in the next probably year or two we will be getting an event for that, at least for their version, and we will follow behind at some point, or that could be linked up. Who knows on that timetable is, we won't know until that time arrives. So if you're here, some of you might not necessarily know what a gacha is. We've talked about a couple of them. I've made videos regarding Genshin in the past, videos regarding Honkai Star Rail. Like, we've played Wuthering Waves, my impressions on that I've made videos on. There's all sorts of other gacha games that are coming out, and we're seeing more and more of them as they're essentially arriving in numbers. So with that said, what exactly is a gacha? If you're not familiar, it's essentially a live service game where you can pull or summon for new characters and weapons. What does that necessarily mean? As you play through the game, you'll get all these different resources and items. You essentially get a specific resource that will let you pull for new characters. There are limited banners that are out for a set amount of time before they go away. These usually do come back in due time, but it is not so often. So they are essentially the biggest resource, or the prime resource of the game. You have essentially two ways of collecting them. You can either use the in-game resources, which I will be mostly doing. I will be playing through the game as a pretty free-to-play friendly account. I will probably spend a little bit of money here and there. We're talking not much at all. I think most I've ever spent on a gacha, I don't think I've ever exceeded like $50 or $60 maybe in total. Honkai Star Rail, maybe I might have barely broken that over the time of its lifespan. But for this, right, you can essentially either spend money if you want to max out characters, get everything, put the game on easy mode, or you can just use the resources they give you, be free to play. I will say that with that said, all the videos I've seen have stated that this game is actually quite free to play friendly. That is for those who have played the Eastern release and are still playing through that. And from what people have found from the early, not essentially early releases, but the people that have had early access to the game, there's been some people doing sponsored streams, I think already this weekend, for the game, even though it doesn't come out until Thursday here. And it's pretty much looking like the game might even be more free to play friendly for the Western version, which is fantastic news. That's great. With that said, with it being a gacha, it is also where you're going to get time gated content. What that essentially means is that over the course of the time, with each patch, we'll get more and more parts of the story, yada yada yada. So this is not like a traditional Persona game where you can just sit down, play it as much or as little as you want. We will get to points where we are caught up, and then we will have to wait for more content to release. That is essentially how a gacha works. I will say with a game like this, it's okay to take up the mindset that is totally fine to leave and then come back later. I will say trying to play a gacha non-stop will be pretty mind-numbing, and you will just bring yourself out. Every single gacha I've ever done that for, I will say it can get pretty old fairly quick. So with that in mind, if you are interested in playing this game, just pace yourselves. There's no rush, especially with the timetable for what I believe they said. We don't necessarily know for sure, but getting caught up going through the game shouldn't be an issue. So one of the reasons I've really been looking forward to this game is because, one, first of all, I love the Persona 5 universe. When I played Persona 5 Royal for the first time, this was in fact my first Atlas game. I completely fell in love. I still think that this is one of the best modern JRPGs ever. Should also go worth mentioning that with Persona 5 Royal, that the main dev or the lead director for Clair Obscur Expedition 33 actually said that one of the best games he played was Persona 5, because it is truly a special game. In regards to the game itself with Persona 5X, I'm hoping that the story can be as good or close to what we got in Persona 5. My expectations are going to be set a little bit lower. Persona 5 is a special, unique piece of art. If it can follow that and if it can be good, I'm then going to be more than happy with it. I'm also a turn-based combat enjoyer. You'll notice here going through my channel, most of the games I cover are RPGs or turn-based combat. That's just kind of what I've grown up playing. It's what I still love to play. Of course, I used to play more stuff in the past. As I get older, I'm not looking to be as sweaty as I once was playing shooters and stuff like that. So single player, story-driven experiences is kind of what I enjoy most nowadays. One thing I am looking forward to in this game is the fact that Persona 5X seems to have more mechanics compared to other gachas, adding the whole Persona aspect to it and some other things as well from what I've seen. I'm kind of to see how those mechanics play out and how it all comes together. I do fully intend to do essentially like my first thoughts / review video. Whether it's good or bad, you know, I'm one who will tell it exactly like it is. If there's something I like, I'll say it. If there's something I don't like, I'll also say it. I will say it's also important to note that I feel like with gachas, it is very important for people to express how they feel. Devs are always looking for feedback, and for something like this, it is important to state that we do or don't like something. Like, one of the big things I should mention here is that actually with the Eastern release, they have two summon banners. They had a 50-50 banner, which goes to 80 pulls, and they had a 100% guaranteed banner. That 100% guaranteed banner is not going to be out on release for this game. I'm hoping that that can be added back at a future time. Whether they do that or not, we will see. Hopefully, if enough people voice their opinions, that can get changed. We've seen that plenty of times in the past, so it is important to let them know what our feedback is. So, long story short, this is something I've been looking for a very, very long time. A lot of the news and stuff that I've seen for it has been very positive. I've seen some good amount of skepticism for the game as well, mainly regarding the events. So I'm looking forward to seeing this all for myself, see how it plays out, the story experience, the gameplay, the events, and how everything comes together in this brand new gacha. With that, I also will be playing and streaming the game live from the YouTube here on Thursday. I do not have a set time yet. I will be posting that here on the channel with a upcoming essentially live stream for that. It's going to be sometime later on in the day Pacific time, probably closer to 4 through 6 p.m. We will see, but my goal is to kind of play through that and then let you guys know my full thoughts and just experience everything. So if you're kind of want to see for yourself, feel more than free to join me here on the channel. With that is going to be it for this, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Short and sweet one. Let's see what this game's all about. I'm super excited for this. It's been just around 2 years since I believe the game was first announced, and thankfully it is finally here. So with that, guys, thank you so much for the support. If you can, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave a comment below if you've been paying attention to this game. Is it on your radar? If so, would you even consider trying it? If not, you know, that's what I'm here for. So I'll give you the full thoughts when it comes out, and then we'll dive into it on Thursday. With that, I'll see you guys. Until next time, peace and deuces. See ya.